Hey guys, picking up where we left off on day one for log graphs. We are taking our parent function log base 3 and shifting it. We said up 1 and right 2, which means add 1 to the y, add 2 to the x. So if I take each of these ordered pairs, well, the first thing I should do is move my new vertical asymptote over. So now instead of it being the y-axis, it's now, whoops, pardon me, spelled it wrong. Instead of it being the y-axis, it's now x equals 2. That makes sense. Now, every one of these points, parent function, is going to be right 2 added 2. 2 plus a third is 2 1/3. Negative 1 added 1, up 0. 1 plus 2 is 3. Add 1 is 1. 3 plus 2 is 5. Add 1 is 2. 9 plus 2 is 11. Add 1 is 3. Let's plot those. 2 1/3, 0. 3, 1. 5, 2, 11, 3. That green curve right there is a log function with those two transformations. And notice, it's got an arrow on the bottom. It's not a radical graph. The domain, well, domain is greater than 2. Range is all real numbers from negative infinity to positive infinity. All right, now let's look at this function. We talked a little bit about it before. I sort of skipped over it. We said ln. ln is another name for log base e. And it's known as the natural log, and we developed that number e ourselves, and we said e is about 2.71828. It's irrational just like pi, but it is a number used a lot. So how do we graph ln? Well, again, we could go straight to our pattern, or we could start with e to the x, and we could reverse them. So I always just like to do negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. Anything to the 0 is 1. E to the first is e. E squared is e squared. E to the negative first is 1 over e. So if I inverted them, the ordered pairs you're going to plot for ln of x is 1 over e, negative 1, 1, 0, e1, and e squared 2. What kind of numbers are these? Well, let's start with the easiest one. 1, 0, x-intercept. E is 2.7 over 2, 0.7, almost 3, up 1. E squared, 2.7 squared is 7 point something. So I'm just going to go to 7 and then a little bit more. And then we're going to go up to 2. And 1 over e is a decimal, negative 1. You're going to go down there. And there, just like we have always, is the basic shape of a log graph. It has an x-intercept of 1. It has very, very slow growth. And it has a vertical asymptote. Those are the three descriptors I use for that one. And then if we took this last one, just a real quick reflection, what happens with a negative out here? It reflects x. So we're going to take the same thing that we just did, and we're going to plot those points. I didn't do it to scale on purpose, because what's this? E squared, negative 2, e, negative 1, 1, 0, and 1 over e, positive 1, because it reflects over the x-axis. All right, that's it for graph theory today, guys. Plus crunching numbers. I know our lesson ran a little bit longer than that 15 minutes. I just couldn't squeeze it in. Too much cool information. We'll move on to day 2 next, and it'll be on properties.